Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the home of your Central Valley Warriors for tonight's Gold Star Honor Game in connection with Legacies Alive. Tonight, we are humbled to have all of you here to participate in and bear witness to tonight's program and hope that the events that take place inspire all of you. We ask that the names you will hear tonight, that you will carry those names in your minds and in your hearts forever. It is said that a person dies twice, once when your soul leaves your body, and a second time when your name is spoken for the last time. Let us never stop speaking the names heard tonight. Freedom does not come without a price. We far too often take for granted the many liberties we enjoy each day. Each of these liberties has been earned through the ultimate sacrifices paid by so many members of our armed forces. Tonight, we honor each of these brave individuals, their lives, their service, and most of all, their sacrifice to the great and wonderful nation we live in. As you will witness tonight, 5 players from both Central Valley and Newcastle have voluntarily given up their name for tonight's game. Throughout the game, these 10 boys will honor a fallen hero, and that hero's name will be called out instead of their own. When a play is made, the present day athlete's name will not be referenced. Instead, the name of the hero he represents will be heard. For each of these players, this is the start of a lifelong friendship with the families and memories that will have impact on all. If it was not for them and their willingness to dedicate themselves to this cause, this night would never be possible. Words cannot express our gratitude to each of them. For these young men, their hearts are full as they honor with pride our fallen heroes through the game of football. We honor each Gold Star family member joining us tonight. Your road has demanded a far greater sacrifice than you should ever had to have given. But tonight, their stories will live on. They will never be forgotten, and their legacies will be alive. At this time, let us honor each of the service members represented on our field tonight. From Newcastle, playing in honor of Corporal Albert P. Gettings of the United States Marine Corps will be number 51, Jaden Kirkwood. Albert grew up in Newcastle and enlisted in the Marine Corps in 2002. He played baseball in high school and rugby at Slippery Rock University and for the Marines. Albert was also a member of Mary Mother of Hope Parish and participated in local softball leagues. Representing Albert this evening are his mother and father, Juliet and David. Playing in honor of Sergeant Alan Bevington of the United States Army will be number 58, Elias Lawson. Alan graduated Beaver Falls High School in 2002 and immediately joined the Army. His fellow soldiers remembered him as being a very well respected and would never turn down a job or leave it for someone else to do. Alan loved hunting, fishing, and picking on his brother. He also loved girls, shopping for clothes, and fussing over his hair. Representing Alan this evening is his brother Chuck. Playing in honor of Staff Sergeant Edward D. Mills, Jr. of the United States Army will be number 81, Don Rosick. Edward graduated Union High School in 2000 and entered the Army in January of 2005. He was a huge football fan and an avid fan of Notre Dame and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Representing Edward this evening is his mother, Kathy. In honor of Private First Class George Threats of the United States Army will be number 87, J.T. Warren, and number 8, Amir Atkins. George was a 1965 graduate of Newcastle High School and went on to serve his country in Vietnam. He was a recipient of a Purple Heart, and his name is honored on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. Representing George this evening is his son, George Threats Jr., and wife, Michelle. Playing in honor of Private First Class Ryan Clark of the United States Army will be number 23, Malik Jefferson. Ryan graduated from high school in 2007 and enlisted in the National Guard in 2008 before joining the Army. Ryan was very goal-oriented and wanted to make a difference. He also had a great love for hunting and for the outdoors. Ryan's parents, Rick and Tracy, and the Ryan Clark's Heroes Project host a similar event in Minnesota every year called the Minnesota Fallen Heroes Football Game. Standing in honor of Ryan this evening is Legacies Alive volunteer Dave Cage. Representing the Central Valley Heroes, playing in honor of Lieutenant Michael R. Parents of the United States Navy, is number 13, Abram Tatalovich. Michael was a 2002 graduate of Center Area High School. Here at Center High School, Michael was a standout athlete in both football and track and field. He went on to serve a country by attending the United States Merchant Marine Academy in Kingsport, New York, where he had an amazing career as a college football player. In 2006, Michael received his graduation diploma and his U.S. Navy Officer's Commission from President George W. Bush. Michael was a member of St. Francis Cabrini Church, and his core values were family, faith, and fitness. Representing Michael this evening is his father, Michael Parrish, and his sister, Suzanne Ciccone, with Mila, Michael, and Sydney. Tonight, playing in honor of Senior Chief Petty Officer Sam Bilawis of the United States Navy is number 74, Nick McCreary. Sam grew up in New Brighton, Pennsylvania. He enjoyed spending time outdoors and enjoyed camping, fishing, and working out. He also had a passion for real estate and spent some of his free time learning about the industry. Sam deployed twice aboard the USS Ramage. Sam's legacy lives on through his family, friends, and comrades. Representing Sam this evening is Karen Teams. Playing tonight in honor of Major John McGrugaloo of the United States Marine Corps is number 76, Dominic Biancucci. John was born in Beaver County, and he was married and a father when he lost his life. He was among the 241 Marines and sailors killed in the Beirut barracks bombings in 1983. John embodied the values of the Marines: honor, courage, and commitment. Representing John this evening is Dorothea Buffington. Playing tonight in honor of Sergeant Robert Sisson of the United States Army is number 56, Tyler Costanza. Robert, or Bobby as he was known to those close to him, was a graduate of Center High School in the year 2000. He entered the military in September of 2004. Bobby had a passion for the outdoors. He was an avid fisherman and enjoyed camping. Bobby touched so many lives and was willing to help anyone in need. Representing Bobby this evening is his mother, Mary Ann, and her husband, Ron, along with his father, Bob, and niece, Lily. Playing in honor of Sergeant Joseph C. Butcher of the United States Army is number 3, Marcus Lawson. Joseph was from Beaver Falls and served courageously in the Army. He was the ultimate outdoorsman, hunting, fishing, and you name it. He found peace with nature as many of us do. He was also quite a jokester, and those that knew him could never forget the countless pranks he played or the memories made. Joseph is represented this evening by his mother, Darla. Ladies and gentlemen, the legacies of heroes, the memory of a great name, and the inheritance of a great example. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. May we never forget our fallen comrades and to their legacies. At this time, we would like to recognize our Blue Star mothers. While we are here this evening to honor and recognize our nation's fallen heroes and Gold Star families, we would like to take a moment to recognize our Blue Star mothers in attendance this evening. They are mothers stepmothers, grandmothers, foster mothers, and legal guardians who have children serving in the military, National Guard, or reserves. Their mission is to support each and their children while promoting patriotism across the United States. We thank you for your continued service to our beautiful nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please stand? If you are able, remove your hats and face the flag for the playing of taps, followed by the playing of our national anthem being performed this evening by the Newcastle High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and please be seated. And at this time, the varsity football teams will return to their respective locker rooms for a short break. While the teams head back to their locker room, please enjoy the Central Valley Marching Band's Tribute to America, followed by God Bless America, performed by the Central Valley Chorus.
You're like fun. I saw you. Yeah, exactly.
And a pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're live at beautiful Sarge Albert Stadium on a campus of Central Valley High School, bringing you Central Valley Warrior football tonight. It's a very special night here at Central Valley. It's a Legacies Alive game honoring our dearly departed veterans. 5 players from each team have been selected to honor a fallen warrior hero to be honored during tonight's game. We'll go over who those players are. Joining me tonight, my good friend Mike Sullivan's going to give us a hand. Mike is a former star at Blackhawk High School and Geneva College, whose father, Gene Sullivan, was not only a great football coach, but probably one of the finer gentlemen you would ever want to meet. Mike, first of all, welcome aboard. First game on the air. Just have some fun with it. I'm going to feed you softball questions all night long, but just take the game in, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. I know you forgot more about football than I'll ever know, so I appreciate you being here, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
And as I mentioned, tonight's game is honoring our fallen heroes. 5 players from Newcastle and 5 from Central Valley have been chosen to honor our Legacy Alive honorees. And for Newcastle, number 77, Jaden Kirkwood, will be playing in honor of Corporal Albert P. Gettings of the U.S. Marine Corps. Number 85, Elias. Number 81, Edward D. Mills Jr. out of the U.S. Army. And number 87, along with number 8, Amir Atkins. J.T. Warren is number 87. Number 8, Amir Atkins, will be playing for First Class George Streets of the U.S. Army. And number 23, Malik Jefferson, will be playing for First Class Ryan Clark of the U.S. Army as the Central Valley Warriors take the field. For Central Valley, their honorees will be number 13, Abram Tatalovich, will be playing for Lieutenant Michael R. Parrish from the U.S. Navy, a former Center High School graduate. Number 74, Nick McCreary, he is playing for the late Chief Petty Officer Sam Bialowis of the U.S. Navy. And number 76, Dominic Biancucci, is playing for Major John McCruglu from the U.S. Marines. Number 56, Tyler Costanza, is playing for Sergeant Robert Sisson of the U.S. Army. And number 3, Marcus Lawson, playing for Sergeant Joseph Butcher from the U.S. Army. Throughout the night, we try to keep these numbers in mind that if one of these players make a play, we're going to substitute their fallen hero and give him credit for the play on the field tonight. So we'll do our best to keep up with that. As always, I want to thank Sean Rendar and Ethan Young, our IT guys, putting us on the air. Sean and Ethan are really, Mike, you'll find out, these guys are the brains behind the operation. They get us set up, everything here on Central Valley YouTube television, and we're just happy to be a part of it tonight here on the Legacies Alive game here on the Central Valley YouTube Sports Network. Central Valley will be the home team, obviously, dressed in their home dark navy blue jerseys trimmed in Carolina blue and white with the white pants. Newcastle with the white jerseys and the red pants, led by second-year head coach Stacy Robinson, who had an illustrious career at Union High School, just down the road from Newcastle. And, of course, Mark Lyons has been with the Central Valley Warriors since 2010 when they had their first year of high school football. Newcastle has won the toss and has deferred, so Central Valley will go on offense to start this football game.
Newcastle has won the toss and deferred.
So the Warriors will get their hands on a football, and that's always Mark Lyons' preference. So many guys like to defer. Mike, you did a lot of coaching, specifically at Geneva. What's your take? If you win the toss, do you want the ball or do you want to go on defense?
You know, his philosophy was we want the ball to start the second half. You know, hopefully get an opportunity at the end of the half to maybe get a score, and then you get an opportunity to set the tone for the second half.
So he deferred all the time.
Yep, he would defer. Yep, but I'll be honest, I like them both. So.
I can remember when Mike Smianik was a head coach at Aliquippa, and of course Mark Lyons, a head coach at Center High School at the time, or Central Valley when they first started playing together. Mike would always take the ball, and Mark would always defer. So we always knew Mark would always take the ball, Mike would defer. So we knew that Central Valley was always going to get the football to start the game no matter what. Kicking off for the Red Hurricanes will be Angel Porras, the place kicker, senior kicker. He tees it up at his own 40. We're about underway. It's a beautiful night here for high school football. Parkway action. The Warriors on the return out across the 30-yard line and hit there immediately. Good special teams play defensively by
Number 9, Aaron Lawson on the return.
Omar Thomas, only a freshman, so ninth grader out there playing on special teams. CV will take over. First offensive drive at their own 30-yard line, let's call it. Quarterback will be Stephen Rutherford. The junior has had a pretty good campaign so far. The Warriors 3-1 on the year, 1-0 in the section. And Newcastle is 0-4. They are 0-1 in the conference play at the Parkway Conference. And they're going to throw it deep out to midfield. That pass is caught by Quinn Connolly. Connolly has to be one of the bigger surprises at wide receiver. If you recall, he caught the winning touchdown against Austin Town Fitch. Well, they won it on a 2-point conversion, but his touchdown catch set it up for the Warriors to go for 2. Out of the gun is Rutherford. Inside handoff to Mason Dixon. Dixon with about 5 or 6 yards on first down. Mike, you pick.
Dixon picks up 6 to the 44 of Newcastle. On the tackle, number 54, Jaden Schaefer, and 23, Ryan Clark. Second down 4, the ball on the 44.
Second down 4 to go for the Warriors. They're in Red Hurricane territory. Rutherford to pass. Now he's going to scramble. Can't find an open receiver, and he just ditches it out of bounds. That's a good decision by Steve Rutherford. I thought maybe early on in the year he might have forced that ball in somewhere, but he's starting to learn to throw the ball away and play for another down. Third down 4 to go, Warriors at the Nika High 44-yard line.
That was the exact same play they ran on first down. That was just 4 vertical against cover 2. He had Connolly open again. They definitely are trying to take advantage of them playing cover 2 on the outside.
Inside handoff, Dixon, he's tripped up. Would have had the first down, but I don't know if the turf monster got him or the defender got a hand on him. If anybody, I would say that was Jaden Schaefer who got a hand on Dixon. 4th and short. You know the Riverboat Gambler, Mark Lyons, will go for it here. This offensive line has improved in the last couple weeks for CV. Dixon has the sticks and a little bit more.
Mason Dixon out of Central Valley. First down.
1st and 10 down to about the 38-yard line for the Warriors. Scoreless early on. Tom Hayes along with Mike Sullivan. Ethan Young and Sean Rendard pushing all the right buttons. We thank you for spending the evening with us here on the Central Valley YouTube Sports Network. Rutherford dishes it back on the option pass to Jaden Underwood. That actually might have been a lateral.
It was close.
Shaking up on the play for the Red Hurricanes is Jaden Kirkwood. And Jaden is playing for corporate Albert Gettings tonight. Second down and a long 3 to go for the Warriors. Dixon running hard, and Mason Dixon has the chains again. Brought down by Carleo Lowe.
Tackled by number 68, Marcus Diaz.
Good to see my buddy Robbie in the tally on the Newcastle staff, who's spent so much time coaching under Ralph Blundo in basketball. Now he's an assistant coach in girls basketball at Chenango, while coaching in Newcastle in football. 1st and 10 Warriors at the 28 of the Red Hurricanes. Rutherford over the middle, has a man. That pass is complete, short of the sticks. And on the catch, get you a number here momentarily.
Is Ethan Shear.
Ethan Shear, the tight end. Ethan's dad, Will, is the head trainer here, and what a phenomenal job he does keeping these kids healthy and ready to play. Gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down, 3 to go. Sidecar Singleton this time. Out of the gun is Rutherford. It'll be Singleton. He's going to have the sticks and a whole lot more. He's in the 5, inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal, Warriors. Mike, this offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage. If you're Mark Lyons, you'll love to see that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, they have been, as you mentioned earlier, they've been improving week by week. They're young, really young up front. I think McCreary and 2 seniors and all the rest are sophomores or younger, I believe.
Yeah. 1st and goal at the 9. Singleton trying to get outside. Good pursuit laterally. And maybe 2 yards, but give credit to Newcastle. That was nice coverage defensively. Leading the charge was Dylan Carter.
Tackled by Carter and Marshall. Pick up a 1 yard. 2nd and goal from the 8.
Second and goal at the 8, so they only give him 1 yard on the pickup. Singleton breaking tackles. He's inside the 3.
Brandon Singleton.
Another stop there by Carleo Lowe. Carleo Lowe is only a sophomore. 6'3", 240.
3rd and goal from the 3.
3rd and goal from the 3. You got a great place kicker in Ben Shore, but you feel like it's 4-down territory. Dixon's not going to get in there, though. He's down to the 1. Mason Dixon, who had a shoulder injury last year that I think really affected them late in the season, Mike, especially against teams like Aliquippa.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a big loss for them late in the year, for sure.
1st and goal at the 1 yard, or 4th and goal at the 1. The Warriors will try to pound it in. Full house backfield. Nice roll out by Rutherford. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. What gives the Warriors a 6-0 lead.
It's a great opening drive.
That was a good opener. Ben Shore's extra point is up and good. That's a good name for a kicker, Shore.
Better than Blewett. Remember the kid for Pitt?
So, 7-0 Warriors. So that drive, 70-yard drive for the Warriors, started at their own 30-yard line. Ben Shore with the extra point. And the Warriors with a nice looking drive to start this game. Shore will tee it up at his own 40. Couldn't draw it up any better than that. Mixed in the run and the pass quite nicely, did the Warriors. Now we'll get a look at what Newcastle can do offensively, and they squib it. That's going to go out of bounds. Not something
nope.
that
Coach Lyons isn't happy with
no,
that.
He's not a happy
no head
camper.
coach would be.
He said, I said squib it, but I meant down the middle. So they'll get the ball at the 35-yard line. Good field position to start this drive for the Red Hurricane. Oh, wait, now they're going to mark it off from the 32. Yeah, let's give it to 37, not the 35.
Newcastle elects to take the ball on their own 37.
Kyrell Harris will be the quarterback tonight. At least he'll get the start. They'll be mixing in a couple other guys possibly, I'm told. Harris is a junior. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get 2 yards. Stop there by Costanza. Tyler Costanza with the tackle. And Robert Sisson on the stop. And if you're confused, I'll remind you that 56 is Tyler Costanza, but he's playing for Robert Sisson, one of our departed war heroes, in our Legacies Alive game tonight here at Central Valley High School.
They're in the Wildcat now.
And they're going to keep it. And he's going nowhere. Out of the cat is Malik Jefferson. Central Valley not fooled. Mason Dixon with the stop for the Warriors.
Gain of 1. They're down 6.
Looks like Brendan Alexander's coming out a little bit gimpy.
The ball on the 41.
3rd down and 6 to go at the 41-yard line for the Red Hurricane. Central Valley lead it 7-9. Harris breaks containment, but he's short of the first down. He loses the football. Central Valley has come up with it. I do believe the Warriors have the rock. I think Nastic, BJ Nastic on the fumble recovery.
Almost looked like he just lost it. Couldn't tell if it got stripped or not.
Well, if he got contact, it wasn't a lot, Mike. You're right.
1st and 10, Central Valley ball on the Newcastle 44.
Now they're at the Newcastle 44-yard line. This offense doesn't need any help, Mike. They don't need a short field.
No, they don't.
In motion goes Marcus Lawson. Pass is caught at the 30-yard line, 31-yard line. Makai Ahmed with the catch. I don't think I've called Makai's name yet this year, so that's a new number out there getting some action at receiver.
1st and 10.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Young man, only a 9th grader. Mike, did you play as a 9th grader?
When I was in school, we had freshman football. Freshmen weren't even didn't play JV or varsity. Yeah.
You're dating yourself now, buddy.
Yeah.
Jance Henry with the football, his first carry tonight. Of course, your dad's a great coach, probably the greatest coach you ever had, but you had a pretty darn good high school coach, too, in Joe Hamilton.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, Coach Hamilton was great, and his whole staff, too. Those guys were together for a long time, and I think that's part of the reason why they had so much success over the years. They were used to being around each other and really worked well together.
Yeah, the continuity of the staff. And I think that's what Mark Lyons has here at Central Valley as well.
Absolutely.
And CV's going to have to burn a timeout. Mark doesn't like the formation. Mark, all of a sudden, a Hall of Famer, got into the Beaver County Sports Hall of Fame last year, well-deserved. And what a program he has built. Had some great success at Monaca, then traveled all the way to Mount Pleasant for several years and taught and coached in the Mount Pleasant School District before getting the job here at Central Valley in 2010 when Monaca and Center merged, and the communities of Monaca Center Township and Potter Township certainly think they hired the right guy to run this program, and he has proven that to be true.
Yeah, he's really done a great job. Even this year, they've obviously some question marks, being a lot younger, losing a lot of kids that were instrumental, last few years of those teams, and they're doing a great job this year with a really young team.
Mark and I talked about that before the game. I said, you're like the Steelers of the 70s now. You're spoiling everybody. They don't want you to have any down years. You got to blow everyone out if they're not happy. 2 state titles, 5 Whippeals. Henry again, short yardage. He might have lost the football, but now Newcastle's begging for the football, and the official says no. Speaking of officials, good to see Lefty Dionizio here, the evaluator. Lefty, always great to see him, an institution in the county. He's been in that Geneva press box quite a few times.
Absolutely. I
Checking
think he
out
still
the officiating.
is. Yeah. Lefty's a great guy.
3rd down and short, about 2 to go. 7-0 CV. 3 minutes ago in this first quarter. Henry, and Jance Henry looks like he has the first down. Dancing up the middle a little bit, brought down. Jaden Schaefer with the stop.
Henry picks up a Central Valley first down.
Of course, Jance's dad, Jance Sr., was a great athlete at Aliquippa.
They're really bringing up the safeties tight here. Don't be surprised if they take a shot over top. They're just trying to stop the run.
And they run it again, and they do stop the run. Henry, no gain on the play. Great defensive play by Amir Akins. And Amir Akins is playing for George Threets from the U.S. Army. Here in our Legacies Alive game tonight. Beautiful Sarge Albert Stadium on, you could only describe this as a picture-perfect night for high school football.
Feels like football, doesn't it? Yeah, it's
great. A little chill in the air. I love it. 2nd down and 11. He might have lost a yard. Rutherford's going to roll out. He has an opening, and now they close it up quickly. Nate McKnight with the stop for Newcastle. Got down to about the 16-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play.
3rd down, 3.
3rd down, 3 to go for the Warriors as they split 2 to the right and 2 to the left. 4 receivers, probably be a draw now with all these receivers on the field. And there it is, up the middle. Oh, face mask. They call that. Henry said, that's okay. I'll just take it to the house if you don't mind. Touchdown Warriors from 16 yards out.
Great run.
And they will decline the face mask penalty, obviously. And that would have been a major one because they got a big yank on the face mask of Jance. .116 to go in the first quarter. 13-0 Central Valley with Ben Shore. On for the PAT, Stephen Rutherford to hold. Good snap, good hold, good kick. 14-0 Warriors.
1:17 left in the Central Valley 14, Newcastle 0.
Well, you cannot turn the football over. If you're Newcastle, you're the underdog on the road, and they caught the ball up. That drive started at the Newcastle 44-yard line. So a very short field for the Warriors.
Yeah, not how you want to start if you're Newcastle. If anything, you're playing on the road. You haven't won a game yet. You're hoping you're going to get a forced turnover that you can capitalize on to get some momentum, give your guys some confidence. Being down 14-0 with only in the first quarter is
still a minute left in the first. Talking to some of the coaches from Newcastle, they were telling me that they've been playing well in the first half, and not so much tonight, but they seem to be falling apart in the second half. Maybe the game will get better as they go on this time. Well, they are going to assess the penalty, so my mistake. I thought they would have declined the penalty because they got the touchdown, but I guess since it's a personal foul, then it can be assessed. Incidental, they wave it off. This is a personal foul. So Shore will kick off from the Newcastle 45. I would imagine he'll send this one into the Warriors end zone.
Yep.
Or a good time for an onside kick, too. I always say that when you're kicking.
Yeah, absolutely. On their side of the field.
Yeah, their side of the field. What do you got to lose? And they boom it deep. And it's in the end zone. No touch, no run back. You're not allowed to run it back in high school. No such thing as bringing a ball out. I think that's a pretty good rule. Although, I know injuries are always a concern, Mike, but I love watching a good kickoff return.
Sure.
I'd like to see some of these athletes take off from the end zone and go.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, Newcastle at their own 20-yard line. Trailing at 14-0 Warriors. 2 touchdowns on the ground. One by Rutherford, one by Jance Henry. Pass complete to the tight end. Big target there is J.T. Warren. J.T. is 6'6", 210. I wonder if he gets on the hoop court for Ralph Blundo. Ralph Blundo, the head basketball coach at Newcastle, has my utmost respect. I think he's one of the best coaches in the entire state of Pennsylvania. He just does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he has done a great job there. He's been there quite a long time now, too.
Great man, too. Great gentleman. Harris keeps it, and Harris breaking tackles. Still short of the first down, though. It's going to be 3rd and short. Brendan Alexander off the bottom of the pile. And Tyler Costanza, also known as Robert Sisson tonight.
Harris picks up a first down. 1st and 10. Red Hurricanes ball on their own 30.
That might be their first down. First down.
I think it is, yes, definitely. They're out to the 30, too, right at the 30. Could be the last play of the quarter. Oh, my, what a hit in the backfield. Oh, what a play by Tyler. Or check it. Yeah, that was Tyler Ondrusik.
Number 2, Avon Gardner. Brought down in the backfield.
Wow.
And number 51, Tyler.
And that'll do it at the end of the first quarter. Central Valley leads at 14-0. A 1-yard touchdown run by Stephen Rutherford. Ben Shore with the extra point. With 6:21 to go in the first quarter, it was Central Valley 7-0. Central Valley, after a Newcastle fumble, then scores on a 16-yard touchdown run by Jance Henry. Shore's extra point kick is good, 14-0. That's where we're at the end of the first quarter. Here in the Gold Star Honor Game, the legacy's alive. And I'll tell you, I have nothing but respect for, you talk about the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate hero. A young man or woman who sacrificed their own life to fight for our country. You don't get to be a bigger hero than that. And both of my fathers, my stepfather, Robert Fath, and my dad, Richard Hayes, both served in the U.S. Navy in World War II. And my debt of gratitude to them, and I miss them both dearly, but they were so proud of their time in the service. And they, you fight in World War II, you saw a little bit of action.
Absolutely.
And it's so nice that the, high school kids get to understand how important. It's so important to Sam, our boss, Sam Sircone, saying, "Hey, what's up, Mike?" Pass is almost complete, but incomplete, off the hands of Nate McKnight. Sam Sircone, our athletic director, of course. Sam and Mike Sullivan here coach a lot of baseball together. Their boys on the same traveling all-star team for Central Valley.
Yeah, Sam and I have a lot of fun together. He's done a great job here too as the athletic director.
Oh, he certainly has. It's not just that, throwing that transportation mix too. That really makes it tough. He got a tough job. Always, though, we thank Sam for taking care of us tonight. Harris's pass. I thought that was going to be a pick six for Henry, but the pass was well underthrown, and Henry couldn't even get to it.
It almost looked like he might have had a shot at it, but it looked like he was coming up to make the hit. I don't know if he really saw the ball at first.
The ball kind of nosedived too quickly. I don't know if the wind got a hold of it, but all of a sudden that pass died. Back to punt will be Malik Jefferson.
Punting for Newcastle, number 23, Ryan Clark.
Back deep will be Joseph Butcher, our fallen hero, represented by Marcus Lawson. He got to get his hands on it, breaks a tackle, does a great job tiptoeing along the sidelines, gets all the way out to the 45-yard line. What an athletic play there by Sergeant Joseph Butcher of the U.S. Army. Flag on the play. Actually, two flags.
Where those are, you'd have to think they were holding. Or maybe a clip.
They're discussing it now. We'll see what they call. Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. I think this is going back against the Warriors. It is. So negate the good return by Lawson, but that was a heads-up play just to get to the sidelines after the ball took a weird bounce.
10-yard penalty. Move back to the 33.
33-yard line. The Warriors. Let's see, is that their worst? No, they started the first drive at their own 30, so second worst position. Sidecars Mason Dixon. Dixon with good yardage. He has 10 and 15 yards at the midfield. No, Mason is rocking and rolling.
Tackled by number 5, Travis Wetzel.
Mason's dad, Tyrone, a part of the staff here at Central Valley. And we got a timeout, Newcastle.
Ty and I coached at Geneva for a few years together.
Oh, is that right, Mike?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yep. Great guy.
That Gino DeMarco coaching tree is pretty big.
It is pretty big.
Gino DeMarco, a Hall of Fame coach in his own right. Took over for your father, and Mike, you lost your father. How long ago? It's been not quite a year yet, right?
Just over a year. It was September 8th
been a year.
last year.
Yep, just
2022.
What a guy. You had to be so proud of him. And growing up in a football family like that, I know that had to be special for you. And,
oh, yeah.
And you made him proud. He and I talked about you a couple times out on the football field. And when I was covering, I'm so old, I covered your games in high school and college.
Yeah, it was
That's
a lot of
how old I
fun
am.
growing up, for sure.
What a classy man. He was just beloved on that campus at Geneva. Rutherford going downfield to Conley and well overthrown, but pretty good coverage. Let's give the Elijah Marshall, the junior, had decent coverage downfield for the Red Hurricanes. I like the call though. You get the timeout, you get the ball at midfield. Why not go for the downs?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been running the ball real well up the middle, and their safeties have been coming up. Nothing wrong with taking a shot.
Mastrangelo Hill, pretty packed tonight on a beautiful night. I'm still waiting for an invite to go to the party over there, at least after the game, but it hasn't happened yet. 3rd down and 7 to go. Sergeant Alan Bevington of the U.S. Army with the stop, a.k.a. Elias Lawson.
You got a lot of room down here.
3rd down and 7. Screenplay is set up to Dixon. He's got a lot of room. He cuts across the middle. I thought that might have went for the distance, but pretty good defensive play there by Malik Jefferson, but not before the Warriors pick up a 1st and 10 at the 35 of the Red Hurricanes.
1st and 10, the ball on the Newcastle 35.
14-0. Central Valley leads it with 10:25 to go in this first half. Tom Hayes along with Mike Sullivan tonight. Sean Render and Ethan Young here as well, doing all the hard work behind the scenes as always.
For the 27.
Really good block by Ethan Shear on that play.
Tackled by Dylan Carter.
Dylan Carter with the stop.
2nd down, 2.
2nd down and a short 2 to go.
The ball on
This is
the
a great
27.
spot to go play action and take a shot if they want to.
And they'll play it safe to Dixon, and pretty tough to argue with that when you got a back like Mason Dixon in the backfield. What an athlete, 5'10", 198.
And a 1st down.
Warriors doing pretty much what they want to offensively.
Yeah, they really are.
Breon Brown.
They're loaded at tailback too with Dixon and Lawson and Singleton and J.J. Work. He'd probably start at tailback for a lot of schools. I mean, they've got 4
Henry,
kids.
Obviously.
Yep, and Henry.
Yeah, J.J. I covered his dad Earl at Southside back in the day. What a player he was, and actually played some semi-pro ball. That's why they had to burn their final timeout. Good call, Mike. Yeah, J.J.'s dad Earl. Well, you want to talk about one tough football player. Mr. Work was very difficult to handle. Played for the Beaver County Warriors. I used to do the public address for that semi-pro team led by the late, great Mario Fator.
You're throwing out names that are before my time, I think, Tom.
You know, I've been trying to get some young blood up in the booth, you know, so.
I'm not that young anymore either.
No, the age difference between Mike and I is his daughter and my granddaughter are on the same soccer team, and his grandson, or my grandson and his son go to school together, so that shows you who the old man in the booth is. But it's just it's great to be a part of this Central Valley community. I graduated from Center High School in 1976. My wife and I, when we got married in 1980, a year or 2 later, we bought a house in Center, and we've been here ever since. So just blessed to be a part of it.
Yep, absolutely.
Quick hitter, and they lose the football, and Newcastle has the football. And they're still on his feet. The biggest play by far by Newcastle of this first half. Jarovac had the football, but then looked like he was trying to switch arms and just dropped it.
That was a great stiff arm by that kid on the return, too.
So Newcastle in business at their own 40-yard line. They're hanging around, Mike. It's not.
Yeah, they are. We had a great opportunity there to get up by another score, and It feels like it should be more than 14-0 at this point, honestly.
Yeah, it does, actually. And I think Mark Lyons would tell you the same thing.
Yep.
Backwards pass, great read defensively by the Warriors. And that was Abe Tatalovich, whose dad, Wayne, is the defensive coordinator here.
Known Wayne for a long time. He played for my dad back in the late 80s.
One of my dear friends, great guy.
Yep.
On the tackle, number 13, Michael Parrish.
Wayne's son, Michael, who tragically passed away, and my son, Brad, graduated high school together. What a terrible event that was, but Wayne has been such a hero to carry on with his life after that tragic incident. Hitting the backfield, and this defense is starting to show their wares for Central Valley. Dixon leading the charge with Julian Semavoski.
Gardner, the ball carrier.
Gardner had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And man, you gotta, if you're Stacy Robinson, the head coach of Newcastle, you're thinking like, guys, we just got a turnover. We can't be going backwards. We gotta move forward.
Yeah, they're just really struggling up front. They're just getting beat up front, and they don't have an answer for it.
3rd down and 17 to go. Wow. Scramble and a couple yards, that's about it. Kyrell Harris had nowhere to throw the ball. J.J. Work comes up with the stop, and Tatalovich as well. Abe also playing for Michael Parrish. So let's give Michael Parrish, who started on this field at Center High School back in the day. So we'll give Mike Parrish a stop on that one.
Keep the receipt.
Another punt for Nika High. Low snap, gets it away. Takes another roll, and Lawson falls on it. That's the second one he's misplaced, but the last one he was able to regroup and pick up yardage. That time he did the smart thing and just fell on it. Put him down at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10 Warriors. Sean McCreary talking to the near official, another one of those Geneva greats like Sullivan here.
Central Valley being penalized 10 yards holding.
Warriors backed up 10 yards on the play. So give it to them at 22, not the 32. 6 minutes to go, 6:44 to go in the half. They have 2 timeouts remaining to the Warriors. Newcastle has 1. Well, I thought Newcastle burned all 3 of theirs. I could be mistaken. Rutherford has a man wide open at the midfield. Into the clear. All the way to the end zone. Makai Ahmed, he goes coast to coast like butter on toast. 68 yards on the touchdown. How about that for a 9th grader? He was so open, I might have made that catch, Mike.
Yeah, Stevie didn't see him right away, but it did a great job of getting it to him. And
he was all alone, and Makai Ahmed, the freshman, 6'1", 172. I don't know where he came from. I mean, I haven't seen him this year until tonight, I don't think.
yeah, I haven't either.
Extra point is True Blue by Shore, 21-0 Warriors. Hey, sometimes kids have injuries or what have you. You don't know when things start to click. .21 zip Warriors.
Yeah, Newcastle's really just struggling to find an answer. Like I said a few series ago, they started to bring the free safeties up, trying to help stop the run, but then obviously that can put you in the hospital like it just did right there with, giving up a deep ball. That was really kind of ended up being a little bit of a broken play. The corner bit pretty hard too, and the safety came up hard on Rutherford.
The biggest problem is that they recovered a fumble and didn't do anything. They didn't even move the sticks once. They went backwards. Instead of getting a first down, they had a punt, 3 and out after a turnover. When you're already down 14-0, does not bode well.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have negative yardage right now.
Short to kick it off from the 40. Decent contingent of Newcastle fans. They support their sports teams. Nothing like basketball, though. On the return is Amir Akins. Akins is brought down. Akins playing for George Threets.
Number 8, George
Threets. Now that's a Lawrence County name. I remember Barry Threets who played running back at Shenango, I believe. Went on to Pitt. Don't know if that's a relation, but you might assume it is. Newcastle at their own 22. 6:22 to go in the half. Keeper by Harris. Still on his feet. Now finally brought down after a gain of 4.
Couldn't see who came up and filled on that, but did a great job.
Yeah, it looked like Henry and Alexander got over there initially. Picked up 6 on the play. That was a quiet 6. Second down, 4 to go. Deep in the gun. And they keep it again out of the Wildcat. That time, I believe it was Malik Jefferson. And that's really not full of this defense, Mike. They're trying different things, but Wayne Tatalovich's group is well prepared.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Like I said, yeah, they just don't have an answer right now, and we're manhandling them up front.
Third down and about 1 to go. This is a big third down for Newcastle. You don't want to have to go for it on 4th down, and certainly don't want to kick it away with 5 minutes to go in a half, trying to get back into this. B.J. Nastic checks out of the lineup. Running back out on the field is Marcus Lawson, who is representing Sergeant Joseph C. Butcher of the U.S. Army. You know, Mike, somewhere up in heaven, I hope these fallen heroes are watching this game tonight. I just got to feel they are. Third down is short to go. They got the first down and a whole lot more out across the 40-yard line, out to the 41. They got a nice line surge there. The offensive line deserves credit on that one.
Yeah, they did.
Dante Lawson with the tackle for Central Valley. And Lawson comes out of the lineup after making that stop. Jefferson got about 5 yards. Marcus Lawson. Also brought down by Joseph Butcher from the U.S. Army. Second down, 6 to go for the Red Hurricanes. Keeper by Gardner, and he's got the first down and a lot more, about 5 more. Kayvon Gardner, direct snap to the running back, the junior.
They finally got a little bit of something going there. He had a good bounce to the outside there. Nastic gave up contain, and he got about 6 or 7 more yards.
Jance Henry had to come up and make the stop. First down and 10, 3:40 to go in the half, and the scoreboard says 1 timeout for Newcastle, but I'm not even sure they have that one. They certainly don't have more than one.
He's got him.
Long bomb, wide open, touchdown, Newcastle! What a throw and catch.
A fantastic throw. They went play action, and he put it right on the money.
Got to get a number on that catch.
Number 1, I believe.
Yeah, that would be Nate Knight.
A beautiful ball.
That was 60 yards in the air. So Porras on for the extra point. And that kick is good. So all of a sudden Newcastle's back into it, 21-7.
That's a big answer for them, coming into the game 0-4, and you're down 21-0 in the second quarter.
That is huge. And that was a great ball by Kyrell Harris. I mean, he 60 yards, well, I think it was 58 actually. Let's give him 60. Probably threw it at least 30, 40 yards in the air.
Yeah,
I mean, he
perfect ball.
Really put it. I actually thought he overthrew him.
I did it
for
first
a second.
too. Yep, I did it first too.
But
yeah, that kid ran under the ball.
McKnight got under there and made a heck of a catch. Got behind the secondary. And that's something they're going to see in a few weeks when Montour comes here. Montour can throw the football. The Montour Spartans, I saw them against Aliquippa last week. They have a quarterback that can air it out. So all of a sudden, it's 21-7. Porras to kick it off. The way this Warriors offense gets to work, they have plenty of time before the halftime break with 2 timeouts. Ball gets passed to the safety man and picks it up out across the 10, and that's about it, 10-yard line. So CV's going to have 90 yards to work with.
Butcher on the return.
Lawson was back there in honor of Joseph Butcher from the U.S. Army.
On the tackle, number 11, Marcus Perkins.
First and goal at the 10, their own 10. The Warriors 90 yards away from pay dirt. Central Valley did receive the opening kickoff, so in the second half, Newcastle will start with the football. So this is an important drive for the Warriors. And that's Henry breaking tackles. Out across the 20, 25, 30, knocked out of bounds. Big run there. Gain of 20 by Jance Henry. He had one man to beat, and he has a 90-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, he did. That was real close.
Well, that'll get you out of the hole in a hurry. Henry again, breaking another tackle, and good yardage. Gain of about, well, give him 16 on the play.
Pretty good block by Underwood there, too, to get him a couple extra yards.
Yeah, it was close. I was afraid it maybe a little bit.
Yeah, he got spun around. Yep.
But he got his head in front of the defender, so that was well done.
As long as you stay engaged with him, even if you block him in the back, if you start in the front and stay engaged, you won't get called for it, or shouldn't.
All the way out to the 47-yard line. And it's Singleton.
Great run.
He's got about 11 yards. This offensive line, Dominic Biancucci out there on the O-line had a nice block, and Dom is playing for Major John McCruglu from the U.S. Marines.
First and 10. Warriors ball on the Newcastle 43.
I think they're going to throw the ball here.
First and 10, be a good time to do it. Yeah, they keep it with Singleton. Well, that would have been a good call, I think. And great penetration defensively by Elias Lawson, who was leading the charge for Sergeant Alan Bevington of the U.S. Army. Again, for a reminder why I'm calling military personnel on tackles and plays, it's because it's the Legacy Alive game. 5 players from each team are playing for a fallen hero, a fallen war hero, who we all owe a severe debt of gratitude to. Rutherford's pass is complete.
Great ball.
And with the catch is Underwood, Jaden Underwood. Jaden's a junior. They got some guys that can catch the ball.
Yeah, they do, and they're other than Conley, they're young at receiver too. And I'll tell you what too, even since the first game, Rutherford, you can see he's improving.
Yeah,
for sure. That's not an easy throw and an out route like that for a high school kid. And that was a really good throw. He put it right on the money.
Not only his arm, his decision making. I think his decision making has improved so much. I remember early in the game, especially against Austintown, even though he threw for the winning touchdown, he had a couple forced balls against them in Avonworth, but he's really improved his game, and they've improved upon the quarterback, center quarterback exchange. They had problems with that early on. That seems to be rectified. So typically, as any Mark Lyons team will be, they get better as the year goes on.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and he got some experience the last 2 years, late in games, but when you're thrust into a starting role, your first time starting, it takes some time, and you can see improvement, like you said, every week.
Yeah, big difference when you're the starter from the get-go and you're going into a game that's 38-0.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of pressure then.
Right.
3rd and short to go for the Warriors. They're going to throw it, and that ball's going to be too far. Actually, he had Conley open underneath. I don't know if he saw Conley. He tried to get Makai Ahmed. But again, that's a good call on 3rd and short. Now you can power away for the first down here.
Yep, absolutely. You know you're going to go for it. Yeah, when you know you're going to go for it on 4th down, there's nothing wrong with taking a shot.
And they got the first down and a whole lot more. Mason Dixon down to the 27-yard line. Remember, this drive started at their own 10-yard line after the penalty on the kickoff. 1:34 to go in a moving clock. Looked like we had some motion up front for the Warriors.
Yeah, I think Costanza jumped.
Right side of the line, guilty. 5 yards against the Warriors.
Central Valley penalized 5 yards. Illegal procedure. First down, 15. The ball on the 32.
Singleton hit immediately. Well, he got maybe a yard or two, but timeout Warriors. That'll leave them with 1. Yeah, Newcastle is out of timeout, so they correct the scoreboard. Not that it matters. They don't.
1:21 left in the first half.
They don't.
They're
really
ready for the half to be over.
Well, they want the clock to run. Well, now you have to think about throwing the ball at least either to the end zone or an out pattern. with only one timeout, you want to save that timeout. You may, with Ben Shore, you may need a field goal attempt to set up if you can't get it into the end zone. So a lot goes into play right here in this last minute and 20 of the first half. Warriors lead at 21-7. No quit in Newcastle. Can't ever remember seeing a Newcastle sports team quitting anything that I've ever broadcasted.
Yeah, absolutely. They got tough kids.
They sure do. Over the middle, pass is incomplete. A little bit behind Lawson.
Rutherford's pass intended for Butcher is incomplete. Third down.
So Joseph Butcher was open, but the pass was behind him.
It's hard to tell on that. He was running a dig route, and I'm not sure on that if he's supposed to settle or not, but there was kind of a hole. It almost looked like Rutherford was trying to throw it to the hole, and I wonder if Lawson was supposed to settle in the zone a little
He
bit
kept
there.
going across the line. 3rd and 14. Now you got to think you got to move the chains at least. Rutherford's pass is complete. Is that Jerovac?
Rutherford's pass is
Hiltz, I believe.
Yep, 10, not
number
11.
10,
Cole Hiltz with the catch. Very close to the first down, and a final timeout here for the Warriors. I don't know. You might have wanted to just hurry up and run a play there and try to get the first down, save that timeout, but because they're out of timeouts now. But if you don't get the first down, nothing's going to happen anyway. So you take the timeout, make sure you know what you're running to get the first. And it's further than I thought. I thought it was a half a yard. It's closer to 2 yards.
Yeah, it is. Another option they could have here, too, is you get the first down. You call 2 plays from the sidelines here so you know what you're going to run if you do get the first down so you don't have to waste time. They still do have quite a bit of time.
We could spike it on the first down if you get the first down, too. Well, we'll see what they do. Henry, well, all 3 of them are out there in a full house. It'll be Henry, Dixon, Singleton in the middle. To me, this has Mason Dixon written all over it. And it'll be a rollout, wide open. Oh, the pass is dropped. Oh, would have been a touchdown, but Shear couldn't hold on to it.
Sometimes those are the hardest ones to catch. Ethan won't forget that one.
Nah, he was wide open. The ball was there, and he just couldn't corral it.
That was a great call. They just ran naked there, and of course, they were expecting us to run the football, and
yeah, that was a fantastic call on the timeout. Well, Ethan, as you said, he'll be thinking about that one. Fumble! And the Warriors have the football. Can you believe it?
Ethan got the recovery.
Did he really?
Yep.
How poetic is that?
Looked like the
Shear. That was just a bad pitch.
It almost looked to me like the quarterback just took his eyes off the ball. It looked like it was a little bit to his left, but he took his eyes off the ball and missed it. They don't even have enough people out here.
Wow.
Conley's uncovered.
You wonder if Rutherford sees it. He's got to see it. Well, now the defender drops over. He's going to roll out nonetheless. Rutherford's going to keep it. Rutherford into the end zone. No, he steps out of bounds at the 1 yard line. I thought Steve was in, but they're going to say he was out at the 2 yard line. Plenty of time with 44 seconds in. Boy, this would erase the bad taste in the mouth of Ethan Shear if they could get in here after not corralling the touchdown pass. He comes up with a big fumble recovery. Dixon into the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors. So Mason Dixon takes it in. And that is a heartbreaker for the Red Hurricanes. They fought back to get into this football game, thought they had stopped the Warriors. Then they fumble the football and give up the touchdown with only 40 seconds to go in the half. Ben Shore's kick is up and good. It's 28-7.
Yeah, that one really hurt, like you said, Tom. You get a big play, cut it to 14, give your kids some confidence, get back in the game, and then stop Central Valley and then turn it right back over to them late in the half.
You talk about momentum going into the break. Ouch. Stacy Robinson just has to feel like he's snake bit. 28-7 Warriors. It's been their closest matchup since the Avonworth game, where they lost on the road. Boy, you got to be happy for Ethan Shearer to come up with that fumble recovery.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they fumble the kickoff, but they recover it.
Yeah, those are plays you don't forget when you have a play like that, and it's almost a gimme, and you lose the football. Those are tough.
But it happens. I mean, there's no automatics in the world of sports.
Absolutely.
First and 10, Newcastle ball. They're on 24.
What a beautiful night. What a perfect night for high school football in the Beaver Valley here at Central Valley High School. Beautiful Sarge Albert Stadium, one of my all-time favorite guys when I was a student here at Center High School. Sarge was the best. Did so much for athletics at Center High School. Golf coach, AD, gym teacher, basketball coach, he did it all.
Pick up of 3, second down, 7.
Second down, 7 to go after the gain of 3 on first down. I would think Newcastle will be very conservative here. I don't think they'll put it up in the air. And they're going to roll out. And Harris is just running for his life. And now he does throw it up. I'm shocked. And it is almost picked off, and then off the hands of the tight end, J.T. Warren.
Yeah, that almost got interesting there. Those guys, when he scrambled out, gave up contain, and it was in the tight end's hands there.
That was a risk, though. You had more DBs back than receivers. And with the athleticism of this secondary of Central Valley, pick 6 isn't that far out of the question if you're not careful. 24 seconds to go in the half. It's 28-7 Warriors. Good game by Jefferson.
Good hit by Lawson there.
Got the first down. Michael Parrish on the stop. First down and 10 for the Red Hurricanes, and they're going to let it run out.
That will end the first down.
And they'll get the ball to start the second half. And that'll do it at the half. Let's run down the scoring in the first half. Central Valley leads at 28-7. The Warriors got on the board with 6:21 to go in the first quarter on a 1-yard touchdown run by quarterback Steve Rutherford. The extra point by Ben Shore was good. That was 7-0 Warriors. And then after a Newcastle fumble, it was a 16-yard touchdown run by Jance Henry. Shore's extra point was good. 14-0 Warriors with just 1:16 to go in the first quarter. And then it was a 68-yard touchdown reception thrown by Steve Rutherford to Mekhi Ahmed, the freshman. The extra point kick was good, 21-0. You thought Central Valley might be rolling, but give credit to Newcastle. They came back on a 78-yard drive It was a 60-yard bomb from Kyrell Harris to Nate McKnight for the touchdown. Their extra point was good by Angel Porras to make it 21-7. Ethan Shearer recovers a fumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to get out your 50-50 tickets. If you have the winning ticket, please bring it to the press box. That winning number is 106744. 106744. If you have that ticket, please bring it to the press box. Here are some halftime scores. At the half, Mohawk 35, New Brighton nothing. Moon 19, Mars 3, Seton LaSalle 20, Hopewell nothing. Central Catholic 15, North Allegheny 15. At the half, Aliquippa 15, West Allegheny 15. This week's touchdown club winners are Tony and Vera Beatrice. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome Newcastle radio station WKST and Beaver County WPBP 1230 for broadcasting tonight's game live.
And we're back at halftime. Beautiful halftime presentation always by Wendy Lewis and the Central Valley Marching Band. Newcastle, fine show as well. Here at halftime, Central Valley leads at 28-7. The Warriors will have to kick it off here to start the second half, and Sean Render's going to give me his phone so I can run down the scores that we have. Seton LaSalle leading Hopewell 27-0. Shenango 8, Rochester 0. That's a mild surprise on the road. Moon leads Mars 19-9. Let's see, Washington 41, Brentwood 0. Still Valley 35, Ligonier Valley 0. Peters Township leads Upper St. Clair 17-0. Fort Cherry 42, Olsh 0. Mohawk 35, New Brighton 0. Southside 28, Quaker Valley 0. And North Catholic leads Kiski area 7-0. Blackhawk leads Shar Valley 14-7. Ball down to the 20-yard line, return there across the 20 to 25. On the return is Amir Akins as Newcastle comes out with the ball first. Montour 42, Ambridge 7. Freedom leads Riverside 14-7, and Western Beaver leads Elwood City 20-12. And I think that's about it for the locals. Newcastle with the 1st and 10 at their own 26. Nice yardage to the outside, gain of 11, 1st and 10 Canes. Great run there by Kayvon Gardner. Boy, Gardner shot out of the cannon that time. That was a tough run there to start the second half for the Red Hurricanes as the chains are moved down the field out to the 37-yard line. Big first drive of the second half, I should say, here for Newcastle. And that run is maybe a yard, if that. So after that turnover at the end of the half, Mike, that gave Newcastle caught the ball up and Central Valley capitalized on. You're up now instead of 21-7. All of a sudden it's 28-7 if you're Stacy Robinson. That's got to be a tough thing to talk to your kids about at halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get some life and then that happens, and obviously this is an important drive for them to start the second half. And
short yardage again, that time by Cardile Lowe. Tom Hayes along with Mike Sullivan, and as always want to thank Sean Rendar and Ethan Young, but the main guy, our Director of Technology, Eddie I. Miller. Ed, thanks for all your help and support, and want to say hi to Ed's dad, Ed Sr. He's an avid viewer of Central Valley YouTube television, so Mr. I. Miller, we appreciate you joining us every Friday night that we're home here at Central Valley High School, and you should be very proud of your son, Ed. He does a good job, great job for us, and he's really the mastermind behind getting us on the air. So you raised a good boy is what I'm trying to say. You've done well, Mr. I. Miller. 3rd down, 4 to go, but a flag on the play. And that's going to be against Newcastle, you would think.
Yeah, it looks like a hold.
And it might be motion that they're going to wave off. That's a hold. You're right, Mike, and they'll decline it. It'll bring up 4th down and about 4. Boy, do you go for it here? I don't know. You're on the road down 21.
Yeah, you got to punt.
You got to kick it away. Yep. You're right. Because if you get stopped, look where Central Valley's at. Although the way they move the ball, they could get there in 3 or 4 plays anyways.
Yep, absolutely.
But regardless, it'll be, I think, the 4th punt already of the game for Newcastle. Lawson back deep, honoring Sergeant Joseph Butcher of the U.S. Army. And that ball's going to take another roll, and a good roll, a Newcastle roll inside the 10. Wow, that might be the play of the game for the Red Hurricanes, all the way down to the 5-yard line. Great job.
Yeah. Larry DeVincentis isn't happy on that one. He's got to come up and make that catch. At least he wanted him to fair catch it. He had room. I think he didn't realize how much room he had.
Yeah, you're right. He did give up a lot of ground on that one. Now your back's against the wall. Although down, up 21, Mike, this is a good challenge, you know, starting at your own 6-yard line. See what your team's made of. You don't want to get comfortable with a 21-point lead. So this puts a little pressure on your offense. Rutherford at quarterback the whole way. Looks like he's changing things up here on the play. Now he drops back. And he's going to throw a quick out to Underwood. Underwood breaks a tackle, and nice move by Underwood to get out to the 12-yard line. Should have been held for no gain.
Yeah, he did a good job of breaking loose there.
And Jaden comes out of the game rubbing his left shoulder a little bit.
Second down 5.
Gain of 5, second down 5 to go for the Warriors. And that's Singleton with the first down and a whole lot more. All the way out to the 40-yard line. Singleton with a huge carry. Braden Singleton, you just can't focus on anyone in that backfield for CV. Brandon Singleton with another big run.
Luke Jerevac had a nice kick-out block there. It was either him or Costanza. It was hard to tell, but really nice kick-out on the defensive end.
Oh, that's what happens when you have an offensive line doing their job. Anyone can run the ball, although Central Valley has a fine stable of running backs. Rutherford's going to keep it himself. He's going to take off. And he's got a first down into Newcastle territory. I think based on the amount of time that Stephen Rutherford played last year, I didn't know he had this much speed, Mike. He really didn't get a chance to showcase his speed last year because he was pretty much in garbage time. He was playing with a big lead. He didn't have to show his wares, but he's throwing the ball nicely, but he showed a lot of ability to get out on a perimeter and run.
Yeah, he does. When you've got a high school quarterback that can run the ball well and can throw well too and has good speed.
Singleton again, and Singleton's powering ahead. He just will not be denied.
Picks up 5.
Singleton listed at 5'6", 175.
Tackled by Albert Jennings.
Gain of 6, second down, well, 5, let's say. Second down, 5. This drive started at the 6-yard line. Here's my point. They're right back to where Newcastle could have went for it on 4th down and 4th and 4.
Illegal procedure, it looks like.
Delay call. And they finally move it against the Warriors. 5 back.
Central Valley, come on, 5 yards, illegal procedure. Second down 10, ball on the
28-7 Warriors leading it at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. That was our halftime score. Singleton, maybe 4 on the play. Good stop defensively there by Dylan Carter, who called his name a few times tonight. Good defensive effort. 3rd down and 7 to go. Depending on how many yards they pick up on this play, it could be 4-down territory for the Warriors. Pass is complete. Just found a little hole in that secondary down to the 30-yard line. That'll be a Warrior first down. On the catch is Cole Hiltz.
Yeah, he did a good job there, just slipping inside and sitting in the hole.
First down. The ball at the 30.
Down to the Newcastle 30-yard line go the Warriors. Rutherford rolling out. Rutherford's going to throw it into the end zone, and he might have been past the line of scrimmage. Yeah. And I think he is.
Yep.
He lost sight of where he was at on the field.
Yeah, you love him taking a shot there, but that's too kind of what you get with a young quarterback. That's going to be a situation, I'm sure, where Mark's going to tell them when they're watching film, you know, you've got a lot of green grass in front of you. Just take what you can get. And
yeah, he could have had a first down probably at least.
Absolutely.
Well, quarterbacks have that mentality though. They don't want to be labeled as just a runner. They like to be able to say, "Hey, I can throw the ball down the field." Steven, you've proven that, young man. But like Mike said, take what's given. Second down and 15 to go.
Man, they've got the post down here with Conley if they want it.
Yeah, he's a tough one-on-one matchup. They're looking out to the flat to Shearer, no good. Overthrown, but Rutherford was under tremendous duress. A lot of pressure by Amir Akins and Jaden Schaefer. Well, now 3rd and 15. You want to cut the deficit in half here, so you give yourself a reasonable chance on 4th down to get the chains. If you don't, in fact, get it here on 3rd down and long. Another flag on the play. Don't know if the receiver left too soon. Pass too high, incomplete.
Pass interference.
Is there 2 flags? Yep, one down there too. We might have pass interference in motion. We might just do this all over again on 3rd and long. Obviously a lot to sort out for the officials here. Coach Lyons looking for a quicker explanation. At offsetting penalties, still 3rd down. So replay the down. 3rd down and 15 to go for the Warriors at the Newcastle 35. Singleton with the football. He's got a huge hole. Still on his feet inside the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 12. What a hole. Oh, that offensive line opened up a huge hole. You could have driven a truck through it.
On the tackle, number 58, Alan Bevington.
What a great job there by that O-line. 23 on the pickup. Singleton gets it again. And now it looks like the Warriors, Mike, are just kind of imposing their will on this drive. And a loose fumble, but way after the play.
Yeah, this is another long drive. I believe it was it the last drive of the half that we had that almost went 90 yards when we turned the ball over. But yeah, this is another long drive.
This one started at the 6.
Yeah, and these are the kind of drives too that just, you know, they wear you down. And especially in high school, you've got kids playing both ways, and especially their defensive front just wearing down. You can tell a couple of their kids are sucking wind.
2nd down, 6 to go. Jance Henry, no, Rutherford keeps it. He's going to roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors! 6-yard touchdown run by Stephen Rutherford. Well, he kept it that time, Mike.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he didn't need to throw it there.
That was just a great play fake. Got out there on a naked bootleg, and 34-7 Warriors with Ben Shore on for the PAT. And that one's good. That'll make it 35-7 CV.
Sure is 5 for 5. 5:33 left in the third. Central Valley 35. Newcastle 7.
94-yard drive by the Warriors. You don't see too many of those, Mike.
No, you don't.
And that was just a thing of beauty. If you're a Warriors fan, I don't think the Red Hurricanes think it would be too pretty, but if you're in the home blue, you're loving it.
Yeah, and drives like that can be demoralizing for a team.
Well, especially when you come out and you go 3 and out. You have the first drive of the second half. You don't set up any kind of offensive momentum. You have to punt it away.
Central Valley Smith Money. The Central Valley Cheerleaders. And the Central Valley Marching Band.
5:33 to go in the third. The Warriors now, again, only a touchdown away from a mercy clock. Fumble on the return, but the Canes pick it up. And on the return is McKnight, who has a touchdown catch on the night. He gets it out to about the 34-yard line. So pretty good effort there by Nate McKnight. Picked up the fumble and turned it into positive yardage.
It'll be interesting to see how Newcastle responds. You know, being 0-4, and now you're down 28 points.
Well, you can't get too crazy because, you know, this secondary is pretty darn good for Central Valley. But, yeah, you're right. It'll be interesting. I don't think they'll quit.
Yep.
Because they're tough kids. They'll play hard. And that's a nice run on first down by Harris.
Yeah, and as a coaching staff, that's what you're looking for. You just want your kids to keep playing hard and not quit. And it'd be easy to.
Newcastle will host Montour next week, so things don't get any easier. Central Valley will go to your alma mater, Mr. Sullivan, Blackhawk.
Yeah, I'll miss that game. I'll be out of town. I was hoping to see that one.
Well, bad snap, and Tyler Ondrewski was right there. Ondrewski with his tackle. No gain. They lost some, actually, on the play. Yeah, they got the nice little stadium out at the high school now. Of course, you played at Northwestern Stadium back in your day.
Yeah, the cornfield.
I loved it out there. Like when that mist came up over the corn stalks.
Oh, yeah, the fog late in the fourth quarter. Yep.
Great atmosphere out there in Darlington, PA. I miss those days. What a hit in the backfield, but Harris keeps it for the first down. So Jefferson took the hit and a late flag on the play. On the Newcastle sideline, I don't know if CV drove the ball carrier out of bounds or what. Harris was the ball carrier, the quarterback. J.J. Work with the stop. personal foul, CV. So that'll tack 15 on. Well, you wanted to know how Newcastle's going to answer. Mike, this is where they have to answer. They got to turn this opportunity into points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, you want your kids to keep fighting, and this is an opportunity for them. And obviously their coaches are looking to take advantage of it.
Down to that CV 38-yard line. So moving pretty well. Harris keeps it himself again, and that's Malik Jefferson. Got the direct snap. He ran out of a shoe.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Lyons, it's easy for your kids to get complacent up 28, and obviously you want the kids to keep fighting and not get complacent, so we'll see how Central Valley responds here too.
Second down, 4 to go. And they keep it again, Jefferson.
Clark.
Virtually no gain on the play. Brendan Alexander with the tackle. Third down, 4 to go. Obviously 4 down territory for Nika High.
Ball on the 32.
No gain on the play. Good defense there on Jefferson again. Mason Dixon leading the charge. What a complete two-way player he is. Linebacker, running back.
Great wrestler too. Yeah, Mason's a tough kid.
His old man was a mean hombre himself. Pretty good athlete back in the day. And that's putting it mildly. So 4th down and 6 as they lose 1.5 yards. And they'll go for it. Twins to the right, and they're rolling right. And they're throwing right, and it's incomplete, too high. Nice coverage defensively for the Warriors there in Josiah Boykin. So a good drive, stalls for Newcastle, and CV takes over at their own 30, let's call it the 34. (28-7), 35-7, excuse me. 6-yard touchdown run by quarterback Steve Rutherford, our only third quarter score. Good run up the middle. I believe that's Henry that time.
Number 24, Chance Henry, the ball
Chance Henry. Mark Lyons and Larry DiVincenzo, they make our job hard. They get so many guys running the football, you got to keep up with them.
Yeah, they've got some kids that can run the ball for sure. Like I think we mentioned earlier in the game. I mean, they've got 4 kids that can all run the ball really well, and all 4 of them could be starters, probably a lot of other schools.
And we got a Red Hurricane down. That is Jaden Schaefer, the sophomore, 6'2", 200-pounder. He'll be treated by, hopefully it's just cramps. It's what it looks like. Things are getting a little chilly, so cramps are maybe not quite as a factor as it might have been the first few weeks. A little bit of fall nip in the air tonight. I like these nights. I turn the AC off and open the windows.
No doubt.
It's a good sleeping weather. 2nd down and 1 to go for CV. A couple Mondays ago, Jordan Whitehead, the starting safety for the New York Jets, had 3 interceptions in a Monday night game. So congratulations to Jordan on his AFC Defensive Player of the Week a couple weeks ago. Pass to Lawson. That's going to be a horse collar. No call. Clear. No, I don't think so. The ref saying he grabbed his shoulder. I don't think so. They missed that one, but it happens. Lawson playing for Joseph Busher, the Sergeant Joseph Busher from the U.S. Army.
1st and 10, Central Valley's ball on the Newcastle 49.
So they're inside Kane territory at the 49 are the Warriors. Shear in motion. Direct hand off to Henry for a gain of 1.
Henry.
Nice defensive play by Elias Lawson, who is representing one of our Legacy Alive players. Elias is playing for Sergeant Alan Bevington of the United States Army. Again, it's the Legacy Alive game honoring our fallen heroes. Throughout, 5 players from each team have been designated as honorees to fill in for our fallen heroes. Under a minute to play in the third, 35-7 Warriors. 2nd down, 9 to go, CV. Rutherford out on the perimeter, has a man open. That's Shear. He's got a lot of room. Down to the 20, 10-5, touchdown. He's into the end zone. 48 yards for Ethan Shear. Well, he got the 6 finally, Mike.
Yeah, he did. He showed some really good speed there, too.
He did. His old man's not that quick. I can assure you that.
I was just about to say, too, it looked like the right side of the line, Coach Lyons, on this series had new right guard. I missed the numbers, right guard and right tackle in there, so he's starting to mix in some younger kids.
Yep. He does that. He does that as well as anyone. It's a fine line when to put the subs in. Now they're going for the mercy rule, so Shore will try to make it a 35-point lead, and he does. So we are in a mercy clock the rest of the way. It's 42-7 CV.
Yeah, and it's tough too. I mean, the last few years he's had to deal with that a lot, where games, have gotten out of control, and you're trying to get your starters, a lot of playing time and having to play deep into games, but also, trying to get younger kids in, and when you get into the playoffs later in the season and you're playing in tighter football games, you want your starters to be able to go the distance that they
got to play 4 quarters.
It's tough. It's definitely a fine balance for sure.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have they don't have a good football team here at Central Valley. They have a great football program, and you could see by the junior high numbers, which Jackson, your son's a member of. I mean, 7th and 8th grade, they have a JV team for junior high football.
I think they have over 50-some kids.
I mean, that tells you that there's interest in the game here, and that's what it takes. You never know when a kid's going to come out of the woodwork who maybe not have played the sport before and just falls in love with it and becomes a winner. Squib kick up the middle, and Newcastle does recover at their 40. So Newcastle at the 41-yard line, their own 41, trailing at 42-7.
Their own 41.
Quite a few new kids on defense now.
Yeah, a lot of clean jerseys out there. You sprinkle in some regulars too. You don't want to go full cell substitutions. And they throw it up for air. They got a man open, and it's incomplete. Some contact, but no call down the field. The ball intended for Kyrell Harris, who was at wide out.
Yeah, he was open, but the ball was underthrown for sure.
Was that ball tipped too at the line of scrimmage? It kind of went like a wounded duck.
Yeah.
And that'll run out the clock because in an incomplete pass, the clock doesn't stop in a mercy roll. That'll take us to the 4th quarter. 28-7 at the half. It's now 42-7. The second half touchdowns. 6-yard touchdown run by quarterback Stephen Rutherford. Ben Shore's kick was good to make it 35-7. And then a 48-yard touchdown reception by Ethan Shearer. And the kick was good by Shore. We're in a mercy rule, 42-7 as we're just underway in the fourth quarter. Warriors on the road to Blackhawk next Friday night, and Newcastle will host Montour. Huge challenge for the Red Hurricanes at Taggart Stadium. One of my all-time favorite venues in the WPIL. I love going to games at Taggart Stadium. I remember going to a Monaca High School playoff game on a Saturday night at Taggart Stadium, Monaca, Shenango, and it was 20 below zero. And my wife said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to the Monaca playoff game." She goes, "You got to be the craziest man in America." And my buddy John Babel and I went to that game, and he brought a nice thermos of hot coffee. He said that helped us get through. But just loved old Taggart Stadium.
Oh, yeah. I can remember going there as a kid with my dad when he had been recruiting. Really neat stadium.
Picked up 5 yards on that first down play. Second down, 5 to go for the Canes. And now we got a timeout on the field by Newcastle.
Left of the game, timeout, Newcastle.
So they still have all their starters offensively out there. They're trying to get something going.
Blackhawk 14, Char Valley 7.
Your Cougars, Mike, are beating Char Valley 14-7.
Yeah, that'd be their first win, I believe. They've got a young team and obviously difficult situation with Zach Hayward leaving right before the season. And
yeah, that put Pat Feely in a pretty tough spot, I would think. I mean, even though you're around the program for as long as Pat has, it's not the same as being the head man.
Yeah, tough situation.
Pat's a good guy, though. He'll get things turned around.
Yep.
He had the greatest line I've ever heard at a football banquet in my life. And after this next play, I'll give it to you. Blackhawk football banquets, I used to go to them sometimes when Joe was coach in Hamilton. And they were rather lengthy. They were rather long. And you've been to a few of them, so you know what I'm talking about. And pass is complete all the way down to the 35-yard line for the 1st and 10. And anyways, Pat Feely's wife was pregnant right around the Blackhawk football banquet one year, and actually she went into labor a couple days before the banquet.
Oh, wow.
So Pat got up Pat made it to the banquet, and he got up there and he said, "You know what? My wife's labor was shorter and less painful than this banquet tonight." I thought everyone was going to fall over. One of the greatest lines I ever heard. Tight end with the catch, J.T. Warren, all the way down to the 12-yard line. But Joe Hamilton does such a great job of honoring every single kid.
Yeah,
and
their
he took his time.
really well done.
It's for the kids. They deserved it. They deserved the attention. And Joe Hamilton, one of my all-time favorite guys, just a class act. Great coach, better human being.
No doubt.
Still wish they'd named that football field after him up there at the high school, but I know that's a different story for another day, I guess, for the folks at Blackhawk to handle. Harris is going to roll out, and he's going to throw it into the end zone. It's intercepted right at the goal line and into the end zone, but we got a flag on the play.
I think it's a hold.
Jaden Underwood picked it off, and will it stand? Mike Sullivan says we got a hold on Newcastle. Well, it's nice to see the Newcastle cheerleaders and the Central Valley cheerleaders getting together with a little group cheer down there. I like the camaraderie between the two cheering squads. Pretty cool sight to see. You don't see a lot of that anymore.
No, you don't.
So it is Warrior football on the pick. It'll stand. Underwood's interception. And I believe Braddock Ambrose is in at quarterback, the freshman. And McKeel Steele with the carry. So Mike Hill. And that is Ambrose at quarterback. 9:20 to go on a moving clock. Dominic Biancucci now in at center. Dom is playing for Major John McCruglu of the U.S. Marines. Dom chosen, one of the seniors chosen to represent our fallen heroes tonight. And his father, Adam, served in the military as well. High snap, but we got it down in time, and Steals again to the outside, still on his feet. No gain on the play, so the Hurricanes are going to buzz to the ball. They still have quite a few of their starters out there defensively. Braddock Ambrose, only a freshman. He's going to be a good one. First down, Steals up the middle, out to the 40-yard line. Mikal Steals is a junior. He's 5'11", 196.
I taught Mikal at Beaver Falls when I was still coaching at Geneva and teaching at Beaver Falls. I had him in school.
Okay.
Just a few years ago. A great kid.
7:35 on this moving clock, 42-7. The Warriors are going to go to 4-1 on the season, 2-0 in the Parkway. Pass is incomplete. Intended receiver was Michael Crea. Michael Crea is a sophomore. Steals again with the football. He's out to the 45-yard line. So this second unit moving the sticks, Mike. They're moving the ball pretty well.
Yeah, they are. They're doing a really good job. And
this is
good
how you
experience
sustain
for
the
these
program.
younger kids.
Yeah, you got
absolutely.
You sustain a program of getting these kids playing time.
Ball on the 46.
Mike Smianik at Aliquippa was one of the better ones at playing the younger kids when he had a big lead. He was always getting young kids in the game. Up, fumble in the backfield and still on the ground. And Newcastle's come up with it. And they're going to say a live football. And the Red Hurricane takes it down to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like it was on the exchange.
Recovery, number 10, takes life on the backfield, number 19, Braddock Ambrose. First and 10, Newcastle's ball.
Yeah, I don't know if Ambrose tried to pitch it or hand it off to the left side, but it kind of looked, I don't know if it was an option play, but it just looked ill-advised. It just wasn't executed properly. Something happened wrong. Someone zigged when they should have zagged. 1st and 10, Newcastle at the 38 of CV. .5:30 remaining. New ball carrier in there, and I believe that is Amir Akins.
George Brett.
Akins picks up good yardage.
Tackled by Brennan Hudson. Second down 5 from the 33.
More new numbers moving out on the field as Jaden Kilzer checks in. Braden Parrish. Second down of 4 to go. Inside handoff. Akins again, Amir Akins. And he's short of the first down.
On the tackle, number 76, John McCrogaloo.
Dominic Biancucci with the stop defensively. And Dom again is honoring John McCrogaloo from the U.S. Marines. Third down, 3 to go. Quarterback in some trouble. Nice move, and he's going to get the first down. That's a great individual effort there by Travis Wetzel, who is a distant relative of Barry Wetzel, and I'm really dating myself by mentioning Barry Wetzel, who was a great basketball player at Newcastle back in the day.
Yep, I don't remember Barry.
Oh, boy, what a player. What a player. First and 10 down to the 25-yard line. That's what happens when you work with an old man, Mike. You hear a lot of names from years gone by. 3:20 to go in this football game. Quarterback keeper again by Wetzel. Only a sophomore.
Newcastle has a lot of young kids. I think I counted. They only have about 11 or 12 seniors.
CV only has 8.
I know.
Which is really shocking.
Yep.
Second down, 9 to go for the Canes. 2:52 to go in this game. Boy, Stacy Robinson would love to punch one in the end zone here. You just want to have something to build on. If you're the Red Hurricanes, you just, even though gets a second unit, and trying to get to the outside, and now does, out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Good quick speed. Again,
pushed out of bounds by number 17,
Akins with the carry.
Yeah, there's no doubt you want to try to punch one in here, and this is an audition for a lot of these kids.
It is.
Both teams playing a lot of young kids. It's opportunities for them to show what they can do. And
a lot of these kids will be playing tomorrow morning, I would imagine, in the JV game.
Yep.
I would think is at Newcastle. It's usually the way it works. 1:50 to go. Newcastle has 2 timeouts if they so desire to use them. Nice play by the quarterback. He's breaking tackles, and he's down. First and goal at the 3. Travis Wetzel is showing his athleticism.
brought down by Underwood.
Man, I hope he hoops for Ralph Blundo with a name like Wetzel. Can't wait to see the roster here this winter. First and goal at the 3 with 1:15 to go. 2 timeouts remaining. Wetzel has a lone back in Akins. It'll be Akins Akins into the end zone for the touchdown. 3-yard touchdown run by Akins. So Amir Akins, the junior, gets on the board. Nice drive by the Canes. It'll be Porras on for the PAT.
Porras to attempt the point after.
Flag on the play, legal substitution against Newcastle, so that'll back them up 5.
I don't remember, Tom. What was the score at the end of the third quarter?
At the end of the third quarter, let's see. Third quarter, 42-7.
42, yep.
Yep. So Porras will have to go back 5. They'll have the PAT from the 15-yard line. And no problem there for Porras.
The kick is good.
Kick is good.
Central Valley 42, Newcastle 14.
So 42-14 CV. And more than likely will be our final as CV will take a knee or two to run things out, provided they don't give up an onside kick here to Newcastle.
Give Newcastle credit. Punching one in late, their kids haven't quit.
And I didn't think they would. And the young kids, you know, they scored. They scored on the second and third units of CV, but that's okay. Those kids practice as well. You want to give them an opportunity to prove yourself. I don't think Mark Lyons really cares too much of what the score is at a margin of victory. It's you know, get the work in for who needs to have it.
Right.
And these young guys deserve to work. I mean, when you know that you work hard all week in practice and you get a chance to play in a varsity game, that means an awful lot. And they kick it deep. I'm a little surprised that they haven't tried to squib it or onside it. Underwood on a return, and he's going to go almost out the midfield to about the 44-yard line.
Aiden Underwood on the return.
Or 46-yard line.
Tackled by number 10, Chase Lemon.
Special team stop by Chase Lemon. It's a good special teams name, Chase, because that's what you got to do on special teams. Under a minute to go, 42-14. CV will go to 4-1 on the season, 2-0 in the Parkway. It'll be 0-5 and 0-2 for the Red Hurricanes, who host Montour. CV on the road at Blackhawk next Friday night. Want to thank Mike Sulla for joining me tonight, Mike, on short notice. Thanks for pinch hitting, and hope you had a good time, and hope to see you again very, very soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Warriors 1st and 10. Take the knee. And the pleasantries will commence. Teams line up at the midfield stripe to shake hands. 28-7 halftime lead, Central Valley. Rutherford scored on a 6-yard run in the second half. Ethan Shearer scored on a 48-yard reception. And Newcastle got on the board with a 3-yard run by Amir Akins, our final score. Central Valley 42, Newcastle 14. For my partner Mike Sullivan, for Ethan, Sean, and Eddie, we want to thank all of you for listening and tuning in tonight and viewing us on the Central Valley